Hi there. Hope you're having a happy Thursday. I want to ask you a few questions, and I really want to do this with the focus being on balance and truly understanding how to activate the allowing of attraction, the allowing of the law of attraction rather than trying to force the law of attraction, in addition to the balance of action in terms of giving and receiving. And what brought this on is I received a Facebook post last night of someone congratulating me for getting an award, and I didn't even know what they were talking about, so I replied back to them and said, I'm not really sure what you're speaking of. Can you tell me what it is that you are mentioning? And they sent me back a link to the IPPY Publishing Awards, and I was listed in category number 60, which was the New Age category, and I had received the gold for my book, Conversations with the Universe. I had no idea about this because I didn't enter anything, and I don't know exactly how I ended up on that list, whether it was my publisher or for some other reason or just in some way it got entered. But it was a total and complete surprise, and it was nothing that was planned. And this is one of those moments where it's a really, really good example of the law of attraction, because a lot of people think that, number one, you have to really, really work hard to get anything. The second myth is that you have to do affirmations and that you have to do vision boards and that you have to do certain steps to activate the law of attraction. That's a huge myth, because the law of attraction is happening all the time without any need to do anything about it. It is fully based on where you're sitting, where you're feeling, where you're being. And the third myth in regard to this is that there are just random things that happen. And there is nothing that is actually random, because it is all connected. What is the common denominator happens to be you. And what is the driving engine of that common denominator is the place that you sit and be in the world. The place that you hold your heart, your whole being, your space. The place that you have your thoughts aligned with, your feelings aligned with, your actions aligned with. And so that's how we create the balance of the thought, the right word, and the right action. And so I can tell you that I play very hard when it comes to the things that I do. I love writing. I love creating 1111 magazine. I could sit and write 24 hours a day because it is like breathing to me. I am that passionate about it. And so writing books is like a dream come true for me. It is something I've always wanted to do. And when I finally figured out that I didn't have to go around myself to get back to my nose to start writing, that I didn't have to come up with every other kind of thing to do just to have the time to write, and I could actually just sit down and have the time to write, which it's silly. You know, we all do that. We come up with all these reasons and scenarios and strategies of what we need to do and what we need to create and what we need to build in order to just do the thing that we want to do, when we could just do the thing that we want to do. And so I began fully claiming and living the life of a writer last year. That was when Conversations with the Universe was released, was last May. So here we are 1 year later on its birthday, and it is receiving a gold award. And I think that that's incredible, because it shows that I simply just stayed in the process. I completely stayed in a place of excitement and pleasure and joy and passion and wonder and curiosity, all of the things that I talk about, the guiding essences that I speak of in my second book, Your Journey to Enlightenment. I've stayed in a place of freedom and play like a child. You know, they don't make vision boards. They don't state affirmations, yet they seem to manifest very easily the different things that they want. And it is because there is not an attachment to it. They're in it for the full ecstasy and enjoyment and play of the situation. And so that's where I stay when it comes to writing. That is the place that brings me joy. It is a place of freedom for me. It is a place of romping in the playground. And in doing that, it activated a lot of things to happen for me this year. It activated a lot of appearances, as well as news releases, as well as radio shows, as well as wonderful feedback from readers. And now it has activated an actual award to show up and be presented to me. And so I'm looking forward, trying to see if I can go up to New York at the end of the month and be a part of the award ceremony and work out my schedule in that way. But again, it was a balance. It was a balance of what some people call work, but what your play should be, or what your work should be, is actually your full devotion in play to something. And so it was that full devotion in play was my action. because I love writing. I'm so completely passionate about it. I think of it like breathing. That feeling is what is intrinsic in me, so that could do nothing but expand outward and ripple out to literally pull in the other pieces that could be of support to me. And then the final piece was just the allowing myself to be open enough to know that the things could happen, and that things would happen that would be beyond my force or control or will, that would be more evident in my life simply because I was living out my truth. And so really look at your life. Really look at your life. And like I talk about in your journey to enlightenment, what are the excuses that you're making to not live your best life, to not fully own your passions and your desires? And are you following the dots, as I speak about in Conversations with the Universe? Are you recognizing all of the different ways that the world is speaking to you to tell you what can be done, and what doors are right there available for you, and what signs and symbols are trying to speak to you, so that you're really led on your way in the most magical of experiences, because that's what life is supposed to be: magical and wonderful and full of surprises. One big giant Cracker Jacks box. So I'm going to just revel in this. It's a beautiful honor and just a wonderful gift today as I begin my new book. I'm writing a third book. It's going to be called Your Journey to Love. And so this was the absolute most beautiful sign and symbol as I began this book, because this was the day that I had decided I would commence, and I've got 6 weeks to finish it. And so to have an award show up today is just a beautiful sign and symbol as to the amazing award that this new book is going to be for me, and hopefully for people in the world as well. So thank you for all of your love and your support. And if you haven't read Conversations with the Universe, go read it. And if you have read it, read it again and recommend it to someone. And if you haven't read Your Journey to an Enlightenment, go read it. And if you have, then I know that you can see how amazing that book is, and recommend that to someone as well, or give it as a gift. I appreciate it. It supports me in doing all of my rebellious humanitarian work in the world that I do. So thank you for helping me co-create so many ways to help so many people by simply supporting my books. In love, of love, with love, and as love, I'm Simran Singh, and have a happy Thursday. Bye.